Righto, continuing on. Goodness, it's exciting. So we tried different arrangements, different intake arrangements. Even went to different radiators as well. Tried race radiators instead of PWR. Unfortunately, didn't make a lot of difference, but this was apparently the best radiator at the time. So you can see that was just me playing around with different intake setups, just for a bit of fun, bit of entertainment, bit of something different. The car sounded absolutely sick with those 8 throttles like that. It sounded absolutely insane. Looked pretty cool as well, don't get me wrong. Oh, that one's sideways. Anyway, we just kept playing around with it, playing around bits and pieces. So they were just 8 motorcycle intakes. So that was another sort of arrangement I used. So they're sort of eight motorcycle filters, that's all they are. And that's another setup we did, just for a bit of fun. Like I said, this was back, where something different was cool. So we used different filter setups and a bit of fun, that's all it was, So this is when we removed the liquid injection as well. I removed the liquid injection setup on it. It was starting to give grief, and the inspection date was due. There was 10 years, so the inspection was due on it. So I just disconnected and removed it. So I'm this was back a little bit when we were playing around with it. So I think that's about it. So again, just playing around, lots of engine photos here. So there's just the drag racing tyres I bought for the car. Had a couple of good wins too. I got and championship for the year. Got a little sort of trophy. There's me smiling. I think there's a drag race. There it is.
Still does.
This is just one of the circuit racing days with the Blast Corp car. Which is pretty quick, mind you, too. So this is just an induction with the different filters. So anyway, carrying on, just some more photos, and that's about it for the Blast Corp car. So I'll just continue with just going through just a bit of some of the parts I fitted, because God, I fitted some gear to this thing over the years. So just to continue, so this is all the underfloor work I did on it. So these were so basically, I put a big underfloor tray on it to help with air intake, as airflow going under it, as well as a decent sump guard too, because of some previous damage. There was a PWR big radiator put on her. That's just more of that under tray work. And that's when I had some photos of the bits that broke. So we had issues, as you do with a circuit car. So brakes were just a lot of fun until I got the new AP racing brakes. We had a lot of problems with brakes, clutches as well. So I had to get a bigger clutch in there. The standard one died pretty quick, so I got a decent clutch in there that can handle the brutality of it all. Then I had issues with the diff. So then the standard C4B Callaway fault started to occur once you get to about 60,000 Ks. There's valve springs let go on you, and the camshaft starts to give you grief. So it's pretty well advertised, and I cannot believe HSV didn't get taken to court over it, because a lot of people lost a lot of money over this, because their engines died on them. So basically, poor metal quality caused metal fatigue, and then your valve springs would break. Bits would fall elsewhere, bits would fall out, and your cam lobes would all bugger up as well. So they get about 60,000 Ks out of a Callaway engine, and if you get any more, you've had a good day. So they're a notorious fault with the HSV Callaway engines. I don't think they ever fixed them, and I don't think HSV ever took responsibility for it, but anyway, it is what it is. So at the end of the day, I flogged it to death, so it didn't really matter to me. It was just a replacement that had to be done. So you can see on the cam lobes, I don't know if I can zoom in. I'll have to have a look at this. Oh, sorry. I'll have to zoom in. I'll zoom in and I'll show you what I mean by the cam. So you can see the pitting. So this is 60,000 K old camshaft. So you can see that there is just horrendous. The wear, uneven wear, the marking. This is not oil. I put in the primo oil. Don't get me wrong. I put the best oil in this thing you could get. But it was just phenomenal amount of wear. And pitting, all this was all chipped, pitted all the way through the camshaft. So the valve springs were knackered. So I ended up getting new valve springs in it as well. So anyway, that's what it is. That's the game you play. So I'm just lucky that it was circuit racing, and I just put it down to a circuit racing fault. So I started playing around with some spoilers, some wings, and these are all the bits I had. That was the rip shift. They were big in the day. Old rip shifters, short and shift your shifts. There's some of the video camera gear I was selling them back then. Very good systems, but back then GoPro came along. I was selling for about nearly 10 years. GoPro came along, and they pretty well own the market now, so that's okay. So that was a windage tray. I put that on for a fellow who wanted to do some testing, and it did an amazing job on the oil. So oil control of oil in the sump. Very good bit of kit, actually. That's a V8 supercar original boot and wing I bought. That was from the Go-Kart Go V8 supercar that converted to a VY arrangement. So that there's underfloor bracing. You see that stuff there. Yeah, it's gone past. Yeah, you see all that stuff there. That's all this underfloor bracing. Cool. So that a mob called BMR did. Geez, that transformed the car. The rigidity was phenomenal. So that's just the old diff housing. I got that replaced with a new one. There's an example of after a day of circuit racing, what happened to the drilled. That's why I got rid of the drilled discs. You can see it cracked all the way through. That's from heat. The drilled discs, don't take them circuit racing. Get the slotted ones. Don't use drilled. Bad idea, especially when you cook them. So again, like I said, temperature on brakes, engine was bad. But we got the right gear at the end after a bit of money and time and effort, and away she goes. So this is just some general parts. There's some AP racing brakes I've got, all the different oil I've put in, side skirts. This is all more of that BMR underfloor bracing I got. So sorry, I've lost track. So there's some underfloor. So there's a bracing that goes across the rear strut towels and the front strut towels. It's just a photo of the engine oil cooler, trans coolers. There's the lifters. That all had the same metal fatigue. They were all knackered. Callaway, I don't know where they got their gear from, but it was nothing short of a joke. I'm sure they have fixed it now, but you can see even there, the metal wear and fatigue was phenomenal on all those products. That's a 60,000k engine. And it happened to all of them. It wasn't just my circuit racing one too. So, that's just some gear from Monkey Warehouse. So I ended up I did a bid on eBay. I'll continue shortly.